Hi everyone, I'm Jenny and I'm a primary teacher in Christchurch at a brand new school, Lemonwood Grove. We just opened this year, so it's been quite a whirlwind journey. But I'm going to talk to you about a unit I did with my previous school last year, and I'll just get it going. So. So we were doing a unit on creativity and getting the kids to explore what it meant to be creative, and we did all sorts of things like we Skyped composer friend of mine, and we Skyped Susie Wells and asked her what she thought creativity was in science, and did all sorts of things like that. And on the science side of things, I was getting the kids to understand sort of what the mystery of science was, and then use creative thinking to solve different problems. So one thing I found with our students was, how do we teach the students to embrace not knowing the answer? There was a lot of kids who had to know the answer at my school, and they didn't like it when we didn't know the answer, or they found it so easy to Google things in this day and age that they're so used to getting the answer. So it's a challenge when actually you might not be able to get the answer. You might just maybe know something. Sort of like a lot of things in science, we use a lot of evidence and we kind of know things, but we don't 100% for certain know that it's definitely true. So through this creativity unit, my skill focus was on teaching them a bit of the difference between observation and inference, and how to solve problems in a creative way. So I took that through starting off with looking at the problem of tricky tracks, and we were really developing their observation and inference skills. So if you've never seen this before, this is the idea of what's going on in this picture, and then giving them a little bit more information, and then giving them a little bit more information. And the discussion we had around it was awesome. There was lots of really good ideas coming out, and they really got the idea of what an observation was versus what was an inference. So basically an observation on this was, there are black marks on the white surface, versus those are footprints from a bird. We don't actually know that definitely. Then I moved on and we started with mystery boxes, and I had a series of different boxes that were covered in black plastic, and the kids had to try and figure out what was inside them based just on the sound and the feel and the movement of what was going on. And so they were using some inference skills alongside their observation skills. And once I built up all of those skills, we then moved on and we looked at the mystery tube idea, which is where you have a series of strings that you pull, and something's going on inside the tube. And when you pull one string, a different string moves every time. So the kids then drew their ideas and tried to come up with different things of what they thought was going on. And then their next step was they actually started constructing it themselves and having a go, and they had to discuss their ideas with a partner, and they had to try different things out. And there was a lot of frustration, which was awesome. And not every kid got the answer. And my biggest thing was, I never let them see what's actually going on inside my model version. I did a lot of talking around, there are lots of different possible solutions, and are you wrong if it's not exactly the same solution as mine, versus if you get the same outcome as mine, you might be right. And then their final big project was the mystery bucket, which is the one where you pour in different coloured liquids into the bucket and clear water comes out. So you might pour in some blue water and clear water comes out. Then you might follow that up with some red water, and blue water comes, clear water still comes out. So then they watched a demonstration of it, and then they had to go off and plan and make diagrams, and then make models and try their own versions out to see what would happen. And we got so many different cool ideas going on, and success and failure and all sorts of different ideas. And the really great thing was that there was, the kids could see that so many different people had different ideas around what they were doing. And nobody was upset by the fact that they might not have been successful in solving the problem. But they all got to have a go, and they got to chat, and through all this you can see all the different types of bits and pieces that they did. The biggest thing I got out of this with the kids was the conversations we had, and there was a lot of challenging of each other about how do you know that that's true, and why do you think it's happening. And there was a lot of different skills that the kids were using. So they were using their observation to watch my demonstrations in the first place. Then they were taking those away and trying to recreate what they saw, and they were coming up with different solutions and all sorts of things. And there was a lot of scientific skills going on, and the kids really, really enjoyed the whole spectrum of things, and got a lot out of it. So that's what I've got to share with everybody, and